Hi, it's Yochin. In the previous video, we found termite damage under the floor and replaced some of the girders and metal posts. We secured the wobbly sill plates and replaced the heavily damaged sections with new ones. Now that the underfloor repairs are complete, we're going to install the flooring. First, we'll start by building the floor base.
こっち側の部屋とこっち側の部屋、大引き方向が違うんですよね。これはこうやって入ってるから、この向きのパネルを入れたんだけど、向こうは大引きがこっち方向に入ってるわけ。この上に新しくかさ上げするための値段を打っていくんだけど、こっちの部屋とこっちの部屋を
We're debating whether to change the direction of the floor joists or keep them running the same way. On the back side of the existing floor panels, you can see joists installed as a base. Right now, the joists are installed perpendicular to the girders as part of the base structure. We'll now add another set of floor joists on top of this to install the flooring. We're thinking of installing them this way. Or maybe this way, we haven't decided yet. The flooring planks will be installed all at once, running lengthwise across the room. Normally, flooring is laid perpendicular to the joists underneath. But in modern methods where plywood is used as a base, the direction isn't as critical. In remodeling jobs, we often have to adjust depending on the site conditions.
ここのジョイントが床なりするんだよ。だからやっぱりこうしてこいつとこいつのパネルを連結したらんと。
なるほどね。
必ず床なりする。フローリングはもう捨て割りしてあるんで一方向でいきます。
はい。
そこら辺はちょっと現場によって変わってくるところです。向こうからここの段差をまたぐように3メーター。
Now we'll plan the placement of the floor joists.
ここからちょうど10尺始まるから。
We determine the joist positions based on the flooring layout and door frame locations. We snapped a straight chalk line around the border of the room. The joists are 30 millimeters thick. Combined with 12 millimeter plywood and 12 millimeter flooring, the floor height will increase by 54 millimeters. The circular saw blade wasn't deep enough. This time, we're only marking the center joist with a chalk line. We've prepared 30 millimeter thick styrofoam panels. The joists are spaced at about 303 millimeter intervals, a traditional Japanese shaku unit. That means each spacing is 303 millimeters exactly. So we cut the styrofoam to 263 millimeters, subtracting the width of the joists. The styrofoam cuts must be exactly right. Even 0.5 millimeters too big or too small is no good. We align each joist with the chalk line and fasten them straight. Starting from the center joist, we insert the 263 millimeter styrofoam snugly in between. If the styrofoam is cut precisely, the joists will naturally fall into the right position. Now we've reached the 18-20mm mark. We line it up exactly at 18-20mm and screw it into place. With this method, even slightly warped joists can be installed straight. And best of all, there won't be any gaps, which are the enemy of good insulation. Kazu-san often loses his wallet or insurance card. He's that kind of guy. But when it comes to floor joists, he insists on placing them with zero tolerance. Even 1 millimeter off is unacceptable.
アングルの下に差し込みたいんですけど、
はい。
もうサッシ自体が大きく傾いてるんで、ここは無理やりサッシに合わせて傾けて床を作ります。
Normally, you'd build the floor level from the lower side. But that would create a huge step between this room and the others. Plus, we already ordered interior windows before construction, so we need to align the floor to the sash.
$3 ミリか。まだ全然。本人削ったら床曲がっちゃうな。でもいけたいけた。
Now I'm marking the subfloor panel to show where the floor joists are underneath. We'll firmly connect the existing subfloor with the new joists. What's great about Kazu-san is he's always thinking about how to work faster and more efficiently. I just wish he would also figure out how not to lose his wallet so often. The floor joist framing for the 8 tatami room is now complete. We're moving the workbench over to start on the next room.
3010で。
The plywood we've laid down is just a temporary placement for now. Kazu-san is cutting and laying styrofoam panels one after another. We briefly mentioned this in the last video. But once we discovered the termite damage, we considered removing the entire floor panel. If we removed the panel, we would need to change the height of the girders and switch out the joists and insulation as well. We've already had several unexpected additions to the work, so honestly, we didn't want to expand the job any further. but Kazu-san confidently said that if we do it properly, we can still build a strong floor without removing the panels. So we decided to keep the existing panels. Kazu-san got started right away on making a temporary tool rack. He never puts his tools away, but he also hates it when the job site gets messy. We decided to install an underfloor inspection hatch inside the closet.
できるだけ下地を壊さない位置を、
はい、
もうこの時点で点検口の位置を計算しとくと、無駄な下地をね切らなくて済むね、ネタは切りたくないからさ、
By the way, someone commented, "Aren't you going to cover the air conditioner?" Don't worry, we're going to remove and dispose of it soon.
「シロアリとかいろいろあったんですけども、まあなんとかこうやって床の下地ができました。今から捨て合板を貼っていきます。あ、
待って。
ちゃうな。
逆なんですけど切ると。
ああ、一発目これはだる。
だるいな。
だるいな。
ここで使えるかもしれない。
ほら、こんだけ切ればたる。
こっちのように切ったの？
そうだよね。知らんかった。3、5。
Also, he says, but then he almost made the exact same mistake again.
また同じ方切っちゃう。
こっちだから。今度やな。危ね。
This time, Kazu-san hasn't made too many mistakes. Which, to be honest, is a little disappointing. For the video, I mean. It fit perfectly, unfortunately for us. Looks like Kazu-san still has a lot to learn if he wants to be a full-fledged YouTuber. This one fit perfectly too. Again, unfortunately. Please take a look at this nail gun. It's missing a part, so the lid won't close, and now it's held together with masking tape. Now the nails are jammed.
簡単に打たれた。
This thing is falling apart.
かわいそうだね、なんかもう。
なんかもう
ボコボコだな。
The plywood floor is finally done. Now we'll start laying the flooring. First, we're going to dry fit the first row. We temporarily tack down some wood at the joints and lay out the flooring planks. We use a utility knife to mark along a framing square to get an accurate cut line. When the flooring is dark colored, the pencil lines can be really hard to see. So Kazu-san applied some chalk to the knife line to make it more visible.
あ、ここからなる、ここなる。
He's oddly clever about things like that. The cut lines disappear under sawdust, so I blow it away with compressed air for him. And then, sawdust flew right into Kazu-san's eyes. Just to be clear, I'm not bullying him or anything. The first row of flooring lined up perfectly with the door sill. The first row is fully installed. All good so far. Since it's just going to be repetitive floor laying for a while, I'll take this chance to share some thoughts. Kazu-san isn't just good at carpentry, he's also decent at sales, computers, and even cooking. But he's not very good at using the Japanese language. He often mixes up words, and it causes conversations to get confusing. He calls a stapler a smartphone. He calls a mouse a smartphone. He even calls a calculator a smartphone. And sometimes he calls an onion a green pepper. Lately I've stopped correcting him and just laugh silently to myself.
299。
うん。
299。
Now that we're halfway through the floor laying, we'll go ahead and put some protective covering on top. We'll leave the center area easy to remove later, since the sliding door track will go here. We'll also make sure this area is easy to remove when we install the interior windows later.
はい、半分以上貼ってきれいに掃除して養生して作業台を移しました。今何時よちゃん
12時56分。
これぐらいだったら1時間に貼れるね。
This is a true story. When Kazu-san went to the city office to pick up documents, his Japanese was so bad that the staff asked him, "Do you have Japanese nationality?" They asked him really slowly, like they were talking to a child. And Kazu-san froze and said, "Nationality? Now that you mention it, I've never seen mine with my own eyes. Maybe I don't have one?" Yeah, he just stood there, completely frozen. Now we've reached the area where the inspection hatch will go. At the end, we'll cut the flooring with a circular saw to create the inspection hatch opening. To make the cutting line clear and avoid rough edges, we apply masking tape over the mark.
Okay.
We don't apply any glue to the section that will become the hatch lid. That way, we can remove it later if needed. This is the final row.
ポーンとへこみそうだね、あんまり。
合板が柔らかいから。
For the hatch area, we apply glue only on the seam so it stays together as one removable lid. By the way, this window here is going to be sealed off.
それなんで切ってんの？
下地がダフラでしょ。
うん。
こいつを止める。
はい。
できれば差し込みだ。
下にね。
でこの一手間が止めることができるかできないか変わってくるので、
はい。
ちょっと面倒だけど差し込む。
This is a classic renovation scene, working with decorative materials while also doing demolition.
これで床が中に伸びてるから、
うん
まあ、ボードだけ入れといてビスで斜め打ちとかね、フィニッシュで斜め打ちしたら床に効かせることができるから、これ差し込んでなかったら、まあ、それはそれまた大変だよね。まあ、穴開けて中からビス打ちゃいいけどね。思ったんそれだけ。
思ったのこれだけ。
なんとか全部今日一日でフローリングが貼れました。綺麗に養生して、次は天井の下地をやっていきます。
Next time, we'll start working on the ceiling.
全部隅ずれるから右側。
Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.